Hey, Tony Hawk here. I just want to introduce you to the Ride Controller. Every move you make on the board is going to be read by some serious electronic wizardry. Inside we have technology that senses the way your body shifts. On the sides are sensors that know when your hands or feet are near them. The nose is the part of the board facing towards the screen. The tail is facing away. It may feel more comfortable to have your left foot forward, which means your stance is regular. Or it might feel better to have your right foot forward like me, which means your stance is goofy. For now, we need to keep the board in a regular stance, so the start button should be facing towards the left of the screen. We're going to calibrate the board now. Place the board on the floor perpendicular to the screen and make sure the start button is facing to the left of the screen. Stand in one of these safe zones away from the side sensors. The sensors are first. Stand in one of these safe zones away from the side sensors. Okay, now make sure not to touch the board for the next 15 seconds. Here we go. Okay, now make sure not to touch the board until the countdown ends. Don't worry, the sensors are perfectly safe. Those sensors are going to be super calibrated in a bit. This is probably the easiest thing you'll do all day. Almost there. Got it. Great. Step 1, done. We need to raise the nose of the board into the air. You're going to step on the tail and make sure you cover the back sensor with your foot. Okay, for the next 10 seconds, step on the tail, starting now. Here we go. The nose should be way up in the air. This is also how the board's going to look when you're pulling off your first ollie. Come on, come on, come on. And done. Fantastic. Now for the other side. Now we need to raise the tail of the board up. Step on the nose and make sure that you cover the front sensor with your foot. For the next 10 seconds, step on the nose. And go. Now your board's tail should be shooting towards the ceiling. When you do a nollie, your board will resemble this. Okay, all finished. Got it. Now let's move on to the sides. We need you to step on the left side of the board with your foot covering the left sensor. For the next 10 seconds, you should be stepping on the left side of the board. Here we go. Hey, look over there. All right, now look here. Okay, all finished. Great work. We need you to step on the right side of the board with your foot covering the right sensor. For the next 10 seconds, you should be stepping on the right side of the board. Here we go. Try to keep the board still during this process. So, how's the weather? What do you guys do around there for fun? We're almost done. Okay, all finished. Something didn't go through. Let's do it again. We need you to step on the right side of the board with your foot covering the right sensor. For the next 10 seconds, you should be stepping on the right side of the board. Here we go. Try to keep the board still during this process. So, how's the weather? What do you guys do around there for fun? We're almost done. Okay, all finished. Something didn't go through. Let's do it again. We need you to step on the right side of the board with your foot covering the right sensor. For the next 10 seconds, you should be stepping on the right side of the board. Here we go. Try to keep the board still during this process. So, how's the weather? What do you guys do around there for fun? We're almost done. Okay, all finished. Something didn't go through. Let's do it again. We need you to step on the right side of the board with your foot covering the right sensor. For the next 10 seconds, you should be stepping on the right side of the board. Here we go. Try to keep the board still during this process. So, how's the weather? What do you guys do around there for fun? We're almost done. Okay, all finished. Something didn't go through. Let's do it again. We need you to step on the right side of the board with your foot covering the right sensor. For the next 10 seconds, you should be stepping on the right side of the board. Here we go. Try to keep the board still during this process. So, how's the weather? What do you guys do around there for fun? We're almost done. Okay, all finished. Something didn't go through. Let's do it again. We need you to step on the right side of the board with your foot covering the right sensor. For the next 10 seconds, you should be stepping on the right side of the board. Here we go. Try to keep the board still during this process. So, how's the weather? What do you guys do around there for fun? We're almost done. Okay, all finished. All right. You don't have to calibrate every time you play, but if you connect a new board or have to replace the batteries, you should recalibrate in the options menu. Now you're ready to ride.
Shake it like a ladder to the sun. Makes me feel.
Hey, thanks for picking up Tony Hawk Ride. What you have in your hands is one of the most advanced game controllers ever made, and we are stoked that you're about to experience skateboard video gaming at its best. My job here is to help you turn into the best Tony Hawk rider out there. So let's get going and start shredding it up. First thing you want to do is get comfortable on the board. Step up onto the board. If your right foot is on the back of the board, you're regular footed. If it's in the front of the board, you're goofy footed, like me. Whichever way you stand on the board needs to be rotated so your right heel is always over the start button. Once you're on the board, go ahead and tilt it a bit to get comfortable. Ideally, your back foot should be placed along the back curve of the board. You'll find out why later on. To move forward on the board, you'll want to do a push. Take either foot, preferably your back foot, and swipe it by the side sensors of the board. 3 good swipes and you'll be at maximum speed. You can always step off the board if you feel like you're losing your balance. For now, don't worry about steering. We're just going to concentrate on some basics. We're putting you on a set path so you can just concentrate on pulling off tricks. Okay, let's give it a try. Now that you know how to stand on the board and push, it's time to start the fun. In skating, an ollie is when you pop the board up into the air using only your feet. Make sure your back foot is positioned properly on the back curve of the board. This will make it easier to pop the board up. To perform an ollie, quickly lift up the front of the board by pressing down on the back of the board with your back foot. Remember, positioning your back foot is key to doing a successful ollie. In this next run, the challenge is to successfully ollie a number of times throughout the level. I've put some icons out there that you will want to ollie into. When you come up to them, just pop an ollie and you'll collect them. Enjoy it. grinds! Grinding objects is a blast. In this run, we'll be learning how to pop up onto objects and performing grinds. As always, first you pop an ollie to get up onto the object that you want to grind. Once you are grinding, you can either ride it out or try other tricks such as another ollie or rotating the board for a different grind. Have some fun with it. When you come to the end of a grind, you can either automatically drop off or perform another ollie to pop off. The angle at which you approach an object will give you different types of grinds. Alright, back in you go. I've placed icons by certain objects that are perfect for grinding. Remember to experiment with moving and rotating your board around once you're grinding.
Get a life!
Okay, you got the ollie down. Next up are flip tricks using tilt. Tilt flip tricks involve popping up an ollie and then with your back foot tilting the board in a direction. You'll get different tilt flip tricks based on the direction of the tilt. As before, your foot position is key to successfully performing the trick. Keep your ollie position and see how it feels when you tilt. Remember, it's a quick lift for an ollie, then a tilt of the board using your back foot to perform a tilt flip trick. Try out different timings of the ollie and tilt to see which is more comfortable for you. Okay, much like the ollie run, you'll be going through a level with icons placed where I want you to do your tilt flip tricks. Have fun and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, you got the ollie down. Next up are flip tricks using tilt. Tilt flip tricks involve popping up an ollie and then with your back foot tilting the board in a direction. You'll get different tilt flip tricks based on the direction of the tilt. As before, your foot position is key to successfully performing the trick. Keep your ollie position and see how it feels when you tilt. Remember, it's a quick lift for an ollie, then a tilt of the board using your back foot. Flick flip tricks use the same idea of an ollie and another motion. So first you do your ollie, then instead of a tilt, you will quickly rotate the board either clockwise or counterclockwise. You'll notice that the board spins around in the direction of the quick rotation. Once again, it's lift up quickly for an ollie, then a quick rotation of the board either clockwise or counterclockwise. Alright, let's get back in there and hit those tricks. As usual, you'll be taken through the level and you'll see these icons where I want you to pull off the flick flip tricks. Flick flip tricks use the same idea of an ollie and another motion. So first you do your ollie, then instead of a tilt, you will quickly rotate the board either clockwise or counterclockwise. You'll notice that the board spins around in the direction of the quick rotation. Once again, it's lift up quickly for an ollie, then a quick rotation of the board either clockwise or counterclockwise. Alright, let's get back in there and hit. flick, flip.
Back off!
So far, you've been popping ollies to perform the various mechanics of skateboarding. Now it's time to get into manuals. With ollies, it's all about popping up the front of the board. With manuals, it's still about lifting the front of the board, but now we want you to do it slower. By slowly raising the front of the board, you will see that the skateboard doesn't pop into the air. Instead, we are initiating a manual, or what some people would call a wheelie. Now we're riding on 2 wheels instead of 4. The fun and challenging thing about manuals is maintaining your balance for as long as possible. Try holding your position and see how long you can last. You'll notice that when you're doing a manual, a meter comes up. This meter shows your balance while manualing. The green zone of the meter is where you want to be for maximum scoring. It looks easy, but takes a lot of skill to maintain that balance properly. Are you up for it? Let's get back in and start manualing. I'm sure you've noticed that you've been guided by a rail for each of the training runs so far. This is an example of our casual mode in the game. Here you just have to worry about timing your tricks and there's minimal navigation to think about. An option you do have is the ability to switch rails at key points of the level. You'll see a junction come up with arrows indicating your options. To choose a path, simply tilt the board in either direction to select one. The arrow will light up showing the current selection as you tilt. Once selected, you will automatically be taken to that path. Remember, simply tilt to select the path you want to go to. Well, you've done pretty well so far. Time for a pop quiz. We're going to test you on everything you've learned so far. Good luck, and I'll see you in a bit. The training wheels are off. Here we will start learning how to navigate on the board. To do slight turns, try nudging or slightly leaning on the board. A little goes a long way. The best thing to do is to bend your knees a bit to help you balance and tilt slightly left or right on the board. Small tilts while the board is flat on the ground will give you the ability to move left and right through the environment. As always, position your feet so that you are comfortable doing these tilts. In the next test, you will be navigating through a number of gates. Simply tilt the board slightly to get to each gate as you approach them. Remember, a little goes a long way, so don't feel like you have to tilt the board too hard for this run. Slight tilts give you the smaller turns and help you adjust towards objects as you approach them. Now we'll get into hard turning. There are times when you want to make sharp turns or just turn around very quickly. This will involve tilting the board as far as possible to get a hard turn. As always, your feet should be positioned to be as comfortable as possible when making the tilt. There's no specific right or wrong position, just experiment until it feels right to you. Keeping your knees bent can help quite a bit with hard turning, as you want to have as low a center of gravity as possible on the ground. Tilt it as far as you can go. You'll notice that the turning becomes increasingly sharp as you tilt. This will allow you to turn sharp corners easily. Okay, back in you go. This one is probably going to take some practice, so give it a few tries. Now that you know how to stand on the board and push, it's time to start the fun. In skating, an ollie is when you pop the board up into the air using only your feet.
shake it like a ladder to the sun. Makes me feel like a madman on the run. Find me, never, never far gone. So get your
Can you believe it? This skater just turned pro, and now look where we're at. This is a true Cinderella story. Just a few days ago, they were called up by P-Rod for a special mission in Southern California. Now that you know how to stand on the board, grinds! Grinding off. Okay, you got the ollie down. Next. Flip tricks use. So far, you've been popping ollies to perform. I'm sure you've noticed that you've been guided by a rail for each of the training. Well, you've done pretty well so far.
Hey, it's P-Rod here. What's going on? I'm here in Venice Beach. Come on down. Let's go skate some spots I know.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and I know it's gonna be a love.
Speed session. Let's see how fast you can go. You have to make it down to the end of Venice Beach as fast as you can. Ooh-wee! You are fast! You should try your skills at a different session type. You have a small amount of time to pull off some big tricks. There's some spots in other areas that'll give you more points, so make sure you hit them. Alright, you've got the tricks. Now let's see what else you've got. Be sure to check out the speed session if you haven't already. So this place is loaded with opportunities. Check out some of the unique objects and let's see what kind of run you can put together. Alright already, no time for gloating. We still have plenty of work to do. But yes, you're amazing. Okay, so in the speed session, speed is obviously the name of the game. And that's good because the LA River is all about speed. You did it, man! That was sweet! Alright, let's see what else we have to do here. It may get fast out there, but you gotta keep pulling tricks. Don't shy away from it. Pull tricks at every opportunity. You're almost as good as I am. Now that's saying something. Hey guys, welcome to the challenge session in the reservoir. There's all kinds of spots to skate. Whoa, that was tight. Nice work knocking out those challenges. You have got some skills.
Well, it's okay to think so, but don't leave it sit down. Don't stand in front of the headlights, and you know what I mean. You think you're just like the rest of them.
For vert skating, you'll want to turn the board to be parallel with the screen, and make sure the buttons on the side of the board are facing away from the screen. When your character is heading towards the left side of the board is considered the nose. When heading to the right side of the board is the nose. To drop in, simply raise the nose of the board and then drop it down. Getting height in vert is as easy as popping an ollie. The key here is to make sure you time it properly. As you approach the top of the ramp, pop an ollie right at the very top. This area is the coping. If you pop too late, you won't get the height, and if you pop too soon, you'll go into a stall. You'll see that when you don't ollie, you don't get up as high. Time that ollie right and you get a nice boost. Practice this a bit until you get your timing right. I'll see you in a little while. Now that you know where the coping is, let's try something else here. To spin in the air when coming off the top of the ramp, try tilting the board right before the coping. You can tilt the board either way. Make sure you tilt it before the coping to get the spin. If you tilt it in the air, you'll do a flip trick instead. The more severe the tilt, the more spins you'll get. Be patient figuring out the timing and the amount of tilt. Don't get too dizzy. Vert is the best place to learn how to grab your board. This is something that can also be done in street skating, but we figured you want some extra air to practice. The 4 sensors around the board allow you to make different grabs. 3 of the 4 sensors on the board will allow you to make grabs. The sensor on your heel edge will be disabled. This applies to street skating also. Whichever sensor you put your hand by, that's where the skater will grab the board. Okay, in this next session, ollie up to get some big air. Once you're up high, reach out to one of the 3 active sensors on the board. Stalls are when you hit the top of the ramp and come to a stop. There are 2 main types of stalls. Lift the nose of the board before the top of the ramp to...
Whatever they call it.
Inverts are like stalls, but instead of stopping with the board, you're putting one hand on the coping while grabbing your board with the other. Basically, a one-handed handstand. To perform an invert, move your hand over the front sensor as you approach the top of the ramp. The timing is the same as the stall, but it's about hand placement over the sensor and not about popping an ollie. Okay, let's get into this. The same as the stall session, you need to pull off a set number of inverts here. You better stretch your arms a bit for this one. Time to have some fun. Use any combination of vert tricks you have learned so far to score points. Once you have scored enough points, you will have completed vert training and will be ready to take on the pros.
The more variety of tricks, the better. We have to hit a certain score or no one is going to take you seriously. Now get in there, let's do it. Great job, you're a natural. You're ready for the Vans Downtown Showdown Pro Challenge. I'll hook you up with my man Dustin Dolan. He'll be there to show you how it's done.
Hey, what's up? I've been expecting you. The other team already killed it with their scores. You gotta beat these guys or you'll never make it to the next town. You killed it in that session. I gotta hand it to you. That was some alright skating, you little punk. Good skating with your buddy.
Shake it like a ladder to the sun. Makes me feel.
this world do some dying.